Hi everyone, and welcome back to Belinda's DIYs. If this is your first time here, welcome. So today I'm going to be creating some more fall decor. I can't wait to show you what I've created. The first one is going to be a hay cart, and I think it's absolutely adorable. I love it because you can put all these little pumpkins and you can display it somewhere around your home. So I'm really excited to show you how I created this using all Dollar Tree items. The next item are these planters that are from the Dollar Tree. I didn't paint the buffalo check. I actually got some fabric from the Dollar Tree, if you can believe that. And I'll show you in the video just exactly what I used. You're gonna be surprised. So I think these came out really pretty, and you can just display one big pumpkin as I did here. So I think that you'll really like this DIY as much as I did. And then the next item is this pumpkin sign that I also purchased at Dollar Tree, but I actually painted the buffalo check on there. So it was challenging, but it was a lot of fun, and it reads pumpkins 25 cents. If you haven't already guessed, these DIYs revolve all around pumpkins. So I'm really excited to show you how I created these fall home decor. But before that we get started, I'm just gonna ask if you can please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also if you click that bell icon, right there in the corner, so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. For those of you that don't know, I do have a Spanish channel called Latina DIYer Hazlo tu Mismo. Please go check out my other channel. I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below in the description box. All right, so if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. For the first DIY, these are the items that I'll be using. I'll be using 3 of these box fall decor, some of the checkers from this checkerboard, some gel super glue, some craft sticks, and these are the larger ones that Dollar Tree carries, some chalk spray paint, some white and black acrylic paint, and I'll be using the little rakes that come in this sand toy, 2 bags of Excelsior, and also some Waverly antique wax. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is hot glue and super glue these 3 boxes. These are gonna be the base for my cart. And all I'm gonna do is join them together side by side. And once I do that, I'm ready to start painting it with the color white. I'm gonna let the first coat of paint dry, and then I'm gonna give it a second coat. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the handle for the cart, and I'm gonna be using these 2 little rakes that came in that Santa toys. Okay, so I'm gonna be cutting the end of that handle using my scissors, and I'll be doing the same thing to the other rake. Okay, so now that I have the 2 handles, I'm gonna join them together like this. But first, I'm gonna add a popsicle stick in between like this, just in case I need it to be just a little bit longer. So I'm gonna add some hot glue there on the handle, and then I'm gonna sandwich that popsicle stick between the other handle. Before I join both handles together, I'm gonna add some gel super glue all around the edge of the handle, and then I'm gonna add some hot glue. I'm gonna hold them for a bit until the glue adheres. And this is how the handle turned out. Since I only had this black chalk paint, I'm gonna be using this to spray paint the handle. For the rails for my cart, I'm going to be using 36 popsicle sticks, but before I use them, I'm going to cut the round edges, that way they're squared off. And I'm going to be doing that to both ends. Okay, so here are all my 36 popsicle sticks. Okay, so now I'm going to stain them all using the Waverly antique wax. And this is how they look now that they've been all stained, and I've done the front and the back as well. Now I'm gonna let them dry for a bit. Okay, so now I want to distress them, and what I'm gonna do is just brush on some white paint, and I'm just gonna be doing the dry brush technique. And I'll be doing that to all 36 popsicle sticks. And this is how they all turned out. Okay, so I'm going to start to hot glue the popsicle sticks, and I'm going to hot glue 9 of them in one side, and I'll do the same thing to the opposite side. And this is how this side turned out. And now I'm going to start on the opposite side. For the back side of my card, I'm going to add 5 popsicle sticks, and to the front side, I'll do the same thing. And this is how it's looking so far. Next, I'm going to add some popsicle sticks going across. For both sides, I'm going to be adding 2 craft sticks, and then I'm going to add just a little piece on the end. For the front and back side, I'm going to add 1 popsicle stick and then a little piece at the end as well. Okay, now that I've added all the popsicle sticks, this is how my cart looks now. And this is what I had left over from the 36 popsicle sticks. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding the wheels to my cart, and I'm going to be using the round black circles from the checkerboard game. I'll be hot gluing 2 on one side, and then I'll do the same thing to the opposite side. And this is how the cart looks now with the little wheels. Okay, so now I'm going to add the handle, but it was too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece off of it. Okay, so I went ahead and I hot glued the handle right there in the center of the front side of the card, as I'm showing you right there. But now what I'm going to do is add the other little extra piece of board and put it right underneath right there, and I'm going to hot glue it. That way it can give the handle some support. And this is how it looks, and I did add extra hot glue. And now my cart has a handle. And now it's ready for me to add the Excelsior and also my pumpkins. For the second DIY, I'm going to be using these 3 tin planters, and they have that cord around the top. And I'll be using one of these fashion scarves that have the buffalo check print. And yes, they have them at the Dollar Tree. Some Mod Podge. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is from that one scarf, I'm going to cut out 3 pieces, just long enough to where it'll go around the planter. Okay, so once I cut all the 3 pieces that I needed, I started by adding the Mod Podge right onto the planter. And I started right underneath that cord. And so after that I would put the Mod Podge, then I would place the fabric over it or the scarf over it, and then I would smooth it out. And I continued to do that all the way around until I was done. And this is how it turned out. The scarf did move around a lot, so that's why my lines are not completely straight, but I think it still turned out nice. And so now I'm going to go ahead and cut the extra fabric down at the bottom as you see me do there. And now I'm going to add some Mod Podge there on the fabric and then just fold it underneath. And this is how it turned out. And now I'm going to be repeating the same steps to the other 2 planters. And this is how all 3 turned out after the Mod Podge had dried. Next, I'm going to fill my planters with Dollar Tree bags just so they can serve as fillers. Next, I'm going to add some Excelsior. I really like this natural color because it looks like hay. And now it's ready for me to add this really pretty velveteen pumpkin, and you can find these at Dollar Tree. For the third DIY, these are the items that I'll be using. Right now, Dollar Tree has this pumpkin here that says thankful and blessed, so I'll be using this one. And this is one of the bigger pumpkins they have. And I'll also be using this small one, but I won't use the pumpkin. I'm only going to use the bottom stand from it. Some letters from this poster stickers, some painter's tape, and some acrylic paint in white, pewter gray, and black. And also these DIY stickers, and they're wooden pumpkins. These are new at Dollar Tree. And also white markers. Now the bottom one right here is from the Dollar Tree. And the top one is from Walmart. It's a chalk paint is what it is, so you can use either one of them. Okay, so I'm going to start by removing the cord and also the metal leaf and the little bow. And for this other small pumpkin, I'm just going to remove its stand, and then I'm just going to remove that glue that it has because I will be using it. Okay, so before I start to paint my pumpkin, I'm just going to sand the back side as you see me do there. I'm going to leave the front as is because I do like the print. Okay, so now I'm ready to start painting the pumpkin. So I'm going to give it one coat of the white paint and let it dry and give it a second coat. Okay, so this is the first time that I attempt to paint buffalo check. So this is a trial and error project, but I'm going to start by placing some painter's tape right down the center as you see me do right there. And now I cut another little piece, and this is going to be my spacer. And I'm going to place it right next to that first strip. And for now, I'm going to leave the spacer there, and now I'm going to put another strip right next to it. Okay, so now I'm going to lift the spacer off, and then I'm going to place it next to the second strip. And now I'm going to place another strip right next to the spacer. And now I'm going to remove the spacer again and place it next to the strip on the other side. And now I'm going to place the last strip right next to it. And I'm going to repeat that same process to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to mix some of that pewter gray to the white because I want a light gray. I don't want it to be as dark. Okay, so now I'm going to start applying the gray, and I'm just going to cover all the white. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the tape. I wanted for this to dry quickly, so what I did is I added the hair dryer to it, and I really should have let it dry on its own because in a little bit you're gonna see what happens when you don't let it dry completely. Okay, so now I'm gonna place the tape across the lines as you see me do there, and I'm gonna start at the very top. And I'm gonna follow the same steps. I will be putting a strip of tape, and then I'll add my spacer, and then I'll just continue going all the way down. Okay, so now I'll be applying the pewter gray acrylic paint. And once again, I'm going to dry the paint using my hair dryer. Okay, so now that the paint is dry, I'm not going to remove the tape. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to place some more tape over the tape that's across. And I'm going to place it where I originally started, and that's putting one strip right in the center. And then I'm going to be following by adding a spacer and then putting another strip of tape and so forth. And now I'm ready to add the black paint. Okay, so now I'm gonna start removing all the tapes. And this is how it turned out, and as you can see, some of the paint peeled off. I was gonna correct it, but I went ahead and I left it this way because to me it looked kind of vintage and old. But if you decide to do this project, just make sure that the paint is completely dry before you put the painter's tape, and also be sure and take away the stickiness from the painter's tape. And now the next thing that I'm gonna do is add the pumpkin in the center of the pumpkin and also spell out the word pumpkins. And now with my white marker, I'm just gonna trace around the letters so they can stand out. And then I wrote 25 cents in the center of the little pumpkin. I put back the bow and the leaf that it came with. And then I sanded off the edges a little just to give it more of that vintage look. And lastly, I slipped on the stand and I was done. Even though the paint peeled off, I really do think this came out really nice because it looks like a vintage little sign. Well, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and also share. I'd really appreciate it. You have yourself a blessed day, and remember, love, laugh, and create. Until my next video, bye-bye and God bless.